Canada, it's Songkran!
Oh my gosh!
Happy New Year, Thailand! So basically, the whole city puts all its shit on hold and has a 3-day-long citywide water fight. It's amazing.
Hey, Evan!
That was our buddy Steve throwing down at Songkran. He's a stuntman b-boy from Toronto that Dagan met on the set of this terrible Indian movie that both of them are stuntmanning for. So he's joined our group. Dagan and Uli had some falling out, so Steven has basically filled Uli's place. But this happens like all the time. Anytime there's a big open space and a good crowd, or if someone else is breakdancing, he just throws down and battles. Songkran was actually weeks ago, but I got really sick immediately after. Something about being really wet and going from hot to cold and hot to cold just kills your immune system. So I had this terrible cough for the longest time. It was so bad that Dagan was in the elevator on his way home and he heard this noise that he couldn't identify until the doors opened and it became clear that it was someone coughing. He didn't know I was sick yet, so couldn't pinpoint where it was coming from, but he walked all the way down the hall to our apartment where he found me in bed, hacking my guts out. So I probably could have been blogging while I was sick, but I just had no interest in it. It was the sort of sick where all you want to do is lie in bed and watch X-Files, which I did, lots of. And I remember an awful lot of that show from when it was first out, which is crazy because I was like 7, so whoever let me watch that show, I mean, I turned out okay, but really, that show's freaky. Anyways, Songkran was lots of fun. Basically everyone in Bangkok, and then I'm assuming people travel from outside of Bangkok just to come here to have this huge celebration all in one neighborhood. It's packed solid. It takes a good half hour to an hour to make it anywhere. Like one block takes probably about an hour. And you get shot from all angles. There are vendors on the streets everywhere selling cold water, like ice cold water, just to increase the shock value. People walk around with clay and just smear it on your face. Music plays everywhere, people just get up on tables and dance, people spraying them with water. The fire department was there just hosing people down with fire hoses. It was a lot of fun. Dagan had to pee, so he decided to go into the spray of one of the fire hoses and just piss himself right there. 3 times. Yeah. But it's also really dangerous. I felt pretty uncomfortable at one point when I was there. We were packed so tight that anytime someone tried to change direction, everyone just got shoved in the opposite direction. We had people pushing it on us from all sides. A couple of people almost fell over, and it's so dense that if you fall to the ground, you're just gonna get trampled to death. So that made me pretty uncomfortable, but made it out of there fine. On the second day, Steve saw someone die. He was in a tuk-tuk. Not Steve, the guy who died was in a tuk-tuk, and a cab just hit the tuk-tuk straight on and the guy went flying, just smearing across the street. And people just stood around staring at it like it was nothing. Now in the Thai culture, it's really important that you save face. So most of them would stand there smiling because when you're uncomfortable, you smile. That's just what they do. It's just part of the culture. So Steve was pretty shocked to see a whole bunch of people standing around this huge accident, just smiling at it. Dagan and I were at a bar on the last night, and someone told us not to go out one direction from the bar, that we had to go the other direction because 2 people had just been shot right down the street from us. So we went out the other way, and on the way out, we saw 2 people bail on a motorcycle, clearly just hammered. And the driver got up right away, walked to the motorcycle, picked it up, moved out of the way. The passenger lay there on the street for a second, smashed his 40 of what looked like rum right in the middle of the street, and then stood up, threw his arms in the air like this, like he just achieved something great, and walked barefoot over the glass. But as I understand it, they are actually getting better at this. When Dagan was here 5 years ago, he checked the death toll and it was 500 people. And they were proud of themselves for that. They were so proud that they'd managed to have a Songkran in which only 500 people died, that they had like a little celebration because of it. But this year, 5 years later, we checked the death toll and 271, I believe, was the death toll, only from traffic accidents. So that doesn't include the 2 people that got shot at the very least, and who knows how many other people died. And who knows how many other sexual assaults went unreported, or beatings, or any other violent crime that is likely to occur when you get literally millions of people in one neighborhood all drunk. Anyways, it was a really interesting experience for me. I definitely had a lot of fun, and even though I got really sick from it, I'd say it was worthwhile. So since recovering from my cough, I've been trying to pack in as much training as I can in the little time we have left. And I've actually been going to gymnastics a lot. There's a gymnastics studio fairly out of the way, but it's only 40 baht, so $1.30 for a year-long membership, which is amazing. I've been mostly working on vaults, so Kong vaults, cash vaults, dash vaults, speed vaults, reverse vaults. Basically everything I can learn to clear obstacles. I tried to do a cash vault over a long set of fairly rough surfaced mats, and I extended my legs a little too early, scraped my feet along the mat and managed to cut my foot open. Not terribly. This is it, healing very nicely, but it meant that I couldn't train at the gymnastics studio anymore. It's barefoot mandatory, and because of where the cut is and the amount of sweat that I build up while doing gymnastics in a really hot, unair-conditioned studio, the band-aid just won't hold to it, and I would end up bleeding on the mats. Can't have that. So unfortunately I had to stop going to the studio. But I didn't want to stop training altogether, so we went to this place called Sapan Taksin. It's a neighborhood near the river. There's this amazing 45-story skyscraper there that's only mostly built. They just stopped building it years ago. So we climbed that and made it to the top. I've got a video of that which I'm trying to upload, which hopefully I'll have uploaded before this, but we'll see. The internet here is so unreliable that it's next to impossible to upload anything. And right by that is this park where they have these bars set up, a few concrete blocks that you can mess around on, and this outdoor gym right next to it. I have a few videos of me just messing around on one of the bars and doing a Kong vault. Didn't get anything too cool. There's not a whole lot there that I can do, like I can't cash vault there because it's all concrete, it's way too hard on my wrists. And if I make the same mistake again, if I extend my feet too early and catch my foot on the concrete, I'm going to faceplant, which I don't want to do on concrete obviously. So until I get a little bit more practice in at the gymnastics studio, I'm going to save the concrete work. Summer has kicked in here in full force. It is really hot outside. It's basically 35 or up every day. Blistering hot sun. It's insanely warm. There was about a week where it was really hot during the day, but the nights were still cool. But now it's still quite warm even at night. Anyways, this is probably going to be my last blog post. I've only got 6 days left and I really don't want to spend it editing video. So when I get home, if any of you want to see more, I've still got more of my trip with Amelia that I can put up. I have no problem doing it at home, I just don't want to do it here anymore. So let me know if you do want more. Otherwise, screw it, you can ask me in person. I'll show you anything you want to see. And I'll see you all very soon.